there, I am Lori Delk.
Hi, I am Rara is in the house. Catherine is Sarah Myers.
And we are the Gratitude Girls. And while we speak to you tonight, if you have any questions, comments, or anything else, you're welcome to post them right below this video in our comment section. We have a very special guest on with us tonight, and I'm going to let Catherine introduce her to you.
Thank you, Lori. How are you tonight?
I'm well.
Hi. Well, let me take a moment to introduce our guest. I'm speaking to you from the Niagara region in Ontario, Canada tonight. And Lori, you're in Columbia, Tennessee, the United States. And we have an international show, international call. Tonight we have our guest with us from St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada, Dr. Erica Mattia. Dr. Erica, we're thrilled that you're on the call with us tonight. And there are so many wonderful things to say about you. First, I would like to say thank you for you're pleasure getting to know you. You're welcome. You're someone I always look forward to seeing and to speaking with. Would you like to take a moment and tell everyone why you are in the vehicle that you're in at the moment speaking to us?
Thank you for the introduction, Rara, and I feel the same way. You're just so lovely. I have enjoyed our time together. So I'm driving back from Toronto to St. Catharines. My husband and I were out for dinner, and so our dinner kind of went a little bit later, so we were just driving back. But I was kind of sharing the fact that we were going for dinner because I have a mystery shopping job that I do. So I get to go and assess the restaurant and try the food and enjoy the drinks and the ambiance and then do a little write-up about it. So it's really fun.
Well, that's really interesting, mystery shopper. I've always had my eye on that. So that means that we never really know who's in the restaurant doing what you're doing and then writing up about it, correct?
Right, yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's fun. Now, I know that's not your regular job or your career. It's a hobby. And I know that you're a doctor, and we have some very interesting stories that we're going to share tonight. Can you please share with us your journey of becoming a doctor, and a doctor in what capacity, please?
Right, so I'm a doctor of chiropractic. I did my undergrad at McMaster in Hamilton, Ontario, and then I did my chiropractic college in Toronto and practiced for 5 years. So I really focused on acupuncture and a lot of nutrition and helping people to heal their bodies from the inside out. And so now I am still helping people with health and wellness and nutrition, just not in a practicing capacity. I've decided to take it a little to a bigger step and a bigger level than that.
Right, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And we have a very interesting topic for tonight's call. And if for our audience who's listening or who would be listening later on, the topic for tonight is called flipping. Well, flipping can be taken in many sense of the word, but Dr. Erica, before we get to flipping, you have a very special family member whom I am extremely fond of, and Gratitude Girls are very fur family member friendly.
I saw one walk by. Lori.
So could you tell us a little bit about Coconut, the other love of your life?
Coconut is a French bulldog, and she's our little puppy. She's 5 months old. She's with her Nana right now, so we have to go pick her up. But yeah, we decided to bring a puppy into our lives, and it's been a huge change for me. I've never cared for another animal that way. A cat is very self-sufficient, and that's all I've ever had. But now Coconut is so fun, and Rara, you welcome her into your home, and she's taking you on just like Auntie Rara. She loves you. So
thank you.
Had a lot of fun with her.
Yeah, I have a special name for Coconut, and that's my dog-ter. So if you think about it, you'll play with the words later. Now, Dr. Erica, there is a real passion. You know, the nuts and bolts of our show tonight is about flipping. Can you discuss with us why you got into flipping? And then we'll talk a little bit about the how-to. So when did you decide that you were going to be a flipper?
So about 5 years ago now, my husband Steve and I, who he's driving, just by the way, but we bought our first home and renovated it in maybe about 2 months' time, and we got a lot of compliments on our house that we were living in. It's a small home, but we almost completely gutted it and started over. And everyone that came through would talk about how great of a job we had done and the quality and my decor and whatever. And so we thought, you know, we could do this, but we never took that step to actually purchase a house to flip until after about 2 or 3 years in, I saw someone named Brian Grant was a real estate agent, and I wanted to talk to him about health and wellness. And so I asked to meet with him, and in that conversation, we started talking about real estate, of course, because he's a real estate agent. And I got really excited and told him about the skills I felt my husband and I had and how we could use them. And he kind of skimmed over it in the fact that everybody wants to flip a house. So, you know, why do you think you could do it and some people can't, right? Anyhow, so he said that it was possible we may be able to, and then he found us a house. And once he found us a house, it was, you have no time, you have to decide to buy or not. And so we decided. We thought we could do it. Quite the story, eh?
Yeah, yes, quite the story. And thank you very much for sharing about your very insightful real estate agent. Now, so your first flip, tell us what number are you on now in terms of flipping homes?
Well, we consider it to be we're in our 6th home that we're flipping. So we've lived in 3 of them and have not lived in 3 of them.
Okay, so you're on your 6th flip. So for the audience out there that still is not sure what flipping a house is, can you walk us through the key points of what flipping a house is, and then tell us a little bit about flip 1, flip 2, because this is a passion of yours and your husband's, correct?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Okay.
It's my husband Steve. He's really, really good at doing all of the hands-on work. And I really enjoy doing the decor, choosing tiles, choosing lighting, and that's my creative outlet. Like, it's amazing that we get to make some money doing it too, but I just like doing it even if I didn't, kind of thing. But so our very first flip, so what it is really is buying a house and cleaning it up and then selling it. And it can be on all different levels. Some people like to flip a house just by painting and maybe, I don't know, doing the floors or something. But we've always gotten into flips where we have to actually gut rooms, if not the whole house. So for us, the first home was on advice of our agent that it was going to be a good one to flip. So we really didn't know what we were looking for. He was super helpful, and that's where a lot of my gratitude comes from today, is getting started with him. So he was super helpful in helping us pick a house that was worth flipping. And we changed the whole kitchen and the 2 bathrooms and painted new floors and new lighting and some windows, painted the whole exterior, and then listed it. And that first house was 3 months from purchase to sell.
So in 3 months, that's fantastic.
That's a closing date, actually. That was a fast one.
Now, let me ask you a question. Can you really make money at flipping houses, and why did you go into flipping? What was the reason?
So you can really make money, but I'm always hesitant, like Brian was with us, to tell people that you just go for it, because it takes some skills. So Steve's day job is in accounting. He's accounting manager, and so that is really helpful for us. to have not only the hands-on skills but also the accounting skills, because if you did that wrong, then you won't make money probably. You'll go over budget, and also if you don't have the hands-on skills, you probably will pay a contractor almost all of the money you would have made. So it's possible, but it's not always going to work out if you're not careful. The reason that we decided to get started with flipping, really, to be honest, is because my schooling was very expensive, and so I had a lot of debt. I paid for it myself, and anyone who's looked at chiropractic college will know that it's very, very expensive. Actually, now it's about $25,000 a year for 4 years. And so when you come out of school with that much debt, it's very overwhelming. So we were looking for ways to bring in extra, I called it chunks of cash. So this is a way to make chunks of cash, possibly, right, if you do it right. And to get started, you might not make as much as you will later, but it was something we could try. Does that make sense?
Well, definitely, absolutely. Now, how did you decide on your, they say in real estate, location, location, location. How did you decide, and where is it that you flip your real estate?
It's all in St. Catharines. There are better opportunities, really, as you go towards Toronto more in this area. But it would mean driving, because my job, I work from home, but I work most of the day. And so evenings and weekends is when we do our flips. And so driving would take up a lot of time, so we keep it close to our home. But
So we have a technical freeze right now, right, Lori? It's not just on my end.
We are looking for the right location. Do we freeze?
Dr. Erica, you're driving through a zone that just cut you out for about 10 seconds.
Oh, darn.
So, yeah, that's okay. So
Okay.
just give us that last part again, please.
I think what you might have lost is the fact that in looking for a location, we found a good agent that helps us, because that's not my priority. That I look for the best person that can do the job, and for him it was finding a house in the right location. So that's lucky for us.
Right. Okay. So thank you for sharing that. Do you stick with one agent? Tell me, do you ever look for a house on your own? Do you let the agent do the job? Is that the point what you were just saying?
I think if you have the right agent, you can let them do all of the looking, but there is opportunities in private sales, or in, pretty much private sales, somebody that wants to sell before they've listed it, really because you're looking to get the house as low as you can, because you need room to increase the value and make some money.
Okay, and Dr. Erica, it's not, I know that sometimes it is about the money, but it's not just about the money when you're buying a house, right? Because if you look to buy without knowing what that house is like, are you ever concerned about what happens if you buy a lemon, if you don't have your agent, for example, with you? Once you get into a house, what happens? So tell me a little bit about that.
I guess that's part of the risk in flipping. We have had that experience with our third home that we were flipping. Turned out the roof needed to be done, and more windows than we expected, which isn't the worst case scenario you could find yourself in, but that took up a lot of the profit. So the money is important, but at the same time, like you said, it's not the only thing, because you really need to love doing this. So we really loved it, no matter what, and you learn something every time.
Now, let me ask you, are you and Steve hooked? Is this now not just a way to look at making blocks and chunks of money, but do you have the flip bug?
Yes and no. Yes, because it's fun, and like I said, it's my creative outlet. Steve gets to do what he loves, his passion. No, in the sense that it does get tiring doing all of the work yourself. So we're looking for strategies to have other people helping us do the work, but then of course it cuts into your profit. So there's finding a balance in that.
Right. So are you going to be inviting your friends to come over and paint your next flip?
I think I've used up all those favors.
Really? So let me ask you a question. I know Steve is driving, but can you tell us a little bit about your partner in crime?
Yeah, Steve. So he learned a lot of his skills from his dad, actually. His dad did a lot of work around their house, and something, my dad, when he does work around the house, it's like duct taping everything together. So there's a difference in the way that he learned how to do things. And so it's always about doing it right and to the best of quality. But he went into a career of accounting, so he decided to go into that, not maybe not fully thinking about the future of what he's really good at, but we found a way to have both things. So he's really good at accounting and really good at hands-on. We can blend it in this flipping business, I guess.
Well, I was in the last house that you flipped, which must have been house number 5, and it was stunning. It was absolutely beautiful. Let me ask you a question. Do you ever have a hard time leaving one of the houses knowing it's time to flip and I must move on?
That question, if you direct it at both Steve and I can tell you, because Steve does and I don't. But when I was younger, I moved a lot. We did a lot. I think I wrote down like 14 moves by the time I was in like grade 9. So I had moved a lot, but Steve has only moved twice with his family. So it is different for each of us. I don't connect to a house the same way. But I do love the house. I actually love the homes I'm working on, but I just don't need to be in them myself. But a lot of people ask that question, so I understand that many people get really connected to their home.
And thank you, Dr. Erica, for sharing that bit of information. So you have a predisposition to flipping because you lived in 14 homes, right? So you were almost conditioned at a young age to move in and move out of a home, and moving out of the home was not a traumatic experience for you.
That's right.
Right. Okay. So now let me ask you another question. You went to school to be a doctor of chiropractic medicine. You acquired a large debt, obviously, to be a chiropractor, and you find your passion and your skills are in your family and your new furry family member, your husband, and flipping your real estate, moving on. Tell me, what are you really grateful for? Where does the gratitude go?
I think the answer to that is I'm grateful. This might be too big, but I'm grateful to have the ability to do these things, to live life the way I design it. I really like sharing that message. I actually built a hashtag for myself called Freedom by Design because we can do it. Although I went into one business or one career, I can do something totally unrelated and it's okay. And I can incorporate all of my loves into different aspects of my life, and it's possible. You can do all of the things that you like. I'm grateful for that. We have a great opportunity just living where we live and having all the wonderful things we have that allow us to do more. We have clean water, we have a home, and all of those things,
Yes. Yes. Now, Dr. Erica, let me ask you a question. You ever driving in the car and you're going somewhere and you see a house and you say, I want that house. Did you ever go knock on someone's door and ask them, is this house for sale? Because I'm a professional flipper. I know you wouldn't say that, but have you ever felt that need, that urge to just walk up to a door and see if it's for sale?
I haven't done that yet, but I did think about it recently. I can't remember which house it was, but I thought, why don't I just go ask them if they want to sell? Oh, maybe I should try.
So, tell me, what's in the cards for you for the future, for you and for Steve? What do you see yourselves flipping bigger houses, flipping multiple houses at one time? What is going to happen? Where's your what's your plan for that?
Well, we would like to do some higher end houses. We really like to use good quality materials and do good quality work, and you can do that in houses that are higher end. I would love to flip a cottage. That would be really fun. So that is hopefully in the future. And we may even be able to do many at one time. We just have to find the right team. That's the hard part, but finding the right team to do the jobs so that we can mostly supervise. That is possible.
And is the home that you're in currently right now a home that you plan on flipping, or is this one of the homes that you might keep?
No, we're going to flip this one too. We have a timeline probably to sell latest this next spring. So this is a longer one than usual, but we're taking our time. I told you, slow down a little.
Now, you change your address a lot. Is there something you can tell us about somebody who moves a lot? Tell me, does that get cumbersome?
For some, especially the people having to move your stuff. But for me, it's really fun. I really like to create a new space. I like change. So I like my space to change and to start over and pick a new theme. And you can cleanse some of your things while you're moving too, right? So you can pack and get rid of a whole bunch or donate or just downsize so you don't have so much clutter. So I like that aspect of it. Steve, on the other hand, is probably cringing listening to me say that. Because for him, moving is a big pain. You got to move all of the stuff and start over, and it's funny how we think quite differently on that.
Well, let me ask you, if you have a wish list, what's on the wish list for the next house for you and for Steve? What are the items in a house that you're looking for?
Well, on the standard sort of wish list, we're looking for a garage and a pool, if possible, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a finishable basement. Those are like the regular things. But other things that I really want, I love stone. So I'd love the exterior to have some stone if possible, or maybe just the flooring. And I also like when there's wood features, so maybe some beams, or the flooring could again be wood, concrete countertop possibly. I like that sort of element to it. Trees, lots of yard space, somewhere coconut can run outside from the inside.
Yes. Yes, and let me ask you, do you have a favorite room that you tackle when you go into your new home? Or let's just talk about the home that you're currently in. Is there a room that you go to first and you say, this is the room I'm going to go after and I'm going to transform right away?
Yeah, usually that's the kitchen. In fact, almost always it's the kitchen. Often simultaneously we're doing the bathroom. Those ones are the ones that really need to be done anyhow generally, and you want to order in your materials as fast as possible, so you need to start demoing and measuring. So those are usually our first go-tos.
Okay, now let me ask you this. Have you had a house that wasn't done yet where somebody was ready to buy it and you aren't finished?
Yes, that's another thing I'm grateful for, actually. This was a great job. Our agent and his assistant, she's awesome too. They found a buyer for a house that we were not even done, and the lady actually bought the house before we were done, so we had to have it done for a closing date. That was fantastic.
So that's a very good story. So you weren't even working on your timeline, and someone walked in and gave you a new deadline.
Yeah, totally. And we pretty much had it done for that day. It was one of those. We'll be back tomorrow with some blinds for you after I closed.
That's funny. Now let me ask you this, and maybe you and Steve want to collaborate on this. Tell us the funniest story about one of these 6 flips, or 5, almost 6 flips. Do you have like one story that really stands out you'd like to share with our audience?
Anything coming to your mind? tree come down. That wasn't funny. I guess it's funny. Let's go with it being funny. There's this beautiful old tree in the back of one of these houses. It was like really sad, actually, but there was this big tree, and it was beautiful, but we kind of knew it needed to probably come down, but because it was kind of cracking. But then we had people make an offer on the house, and we accepted the offer, and so, you know, it's closed. I mean, it's sold, but it hasn't closed yet. And the next day, there's a windstorm, and the entire tree comes down, and we had to clear it and get it out, and it was not really funny, but really good timing for the fact that they had chosen to take the house before we had to deal with this whole mess of a tree coming down, which would have been terrible for showing homes.
So there are acts of nature that take place that are not part of the plan.
Oh, yeah.
Dr. Erica, are you currently looking for a home as we speak now? I know you're on the way driving home, but I mean, are you in the market?
Yeah, I'm loosely looking, because if we find one, then our deadline's going to have to be shortened to not next spring, maybe this winter or sooner. So the stress will be on, but if we find one, then we'll do it. We'll just go for it. That's one thing, like, I know that you're familiar with real estate, and I'm becoming familiar. You have to be ready to just go, take action. So we're kind of open to it, but if you look too hard, you might find, and then you got to take action, right?
We could probably find a house today if we went looking between the two of us, I'm sure. I think we almost found one yesterday.
So too.
I think we were taking a walk, and you said, imagine if we knocked that one. You know, it's very interesting when two people take a walk, right, and we're looking at the same tree in the same house, and, you know, you have ideas about it. Some people look at something and say, gee, look at that old house, it needs work. And you look at it and say, look at how beautiful, I can take that house and make it my own. And that's the beauty of your creativity.
Thank you.
So I know that Steve is driving, but maybe we could say hi to him and acknowledge his wonderful contribution. Hi, Steve.
Oh, I got the light.
Thank you. Thank you for being on Gratitude Girls with us. Really, really thrilled, Dr. Erica, that you would share this information with us. So just let's recap. The person that you're grateful to, obviously, is to your husband and yourself for sharing this passion, because you're both in it together, right? Would you say you're the Bonnie and Clyde of real estate in St. Catherine?
I guess so, yeah. And there's so many people that are surprised we're still married, because apparently renovation can be a little challenging.
So what's the secret? What's the secret?
I think, honestly, to let each other do what they're good at. Like what Steve does, I don't question what he's doing, and he doesn't generally question my color choices or my tile choices. We just do what we're good at, and that's having trust in each other.
That's a wonderful philosophy. You don't waste time second guessing.
Yeah.
Now, do you have, when you're done with your homes, do you have events where people walk through it and you have dinners and you celebrate that, or you basically finish the house and let the real estate agent try and take care of it for you?
Well, in a few of the houses that we didn't live in, we did actually have a little, like, we had my birthday party at one, and we had people over just to see another one, since we didn't live there. So we wanted to have an event, which we've been told is a really good idea. And if anyone's thinking of doing this, it is a good idea, because you get your friends talking about the house. And then the houses we've lived in, we've had our get-togethers anyhow at the place, and people get to see the progress, and then they get to see the end product.
Oh, that's very interesting. So you let your friends in on it as you're moving right along. Now, how does Coconut feel about this? I think are you there? Oh, we lost sound. Oh, Lori, it seems like we lost sound temporarily.
think so.
Yeah. Okay, sometimes driving through a particular cell. So, Dr. Erica, I know that you can't hear me at the moment, but we don't hear you at this moment. So, yeah. Lori, Coconut is Dr. Erica and Steve's dog, and Coconut is an adorable dog, and that's why I asked that. What is the impact of the animal in moving around and changing homes? So, Dr. Erica, I know you see us speaking as you're speaking. We don't have sound right now. Can you hear me? Yeah. So, Lori, you have a pet. Tell me, how do you think your pets would do with moving from one location to another?
You know, I don't know. That's what I was thinking about when she was saying that. And it's funny because the story that she told, I moved about every year to year and a half of my life growing up, my whole entire life when I was little. My dad was a custom home builder. And so we moved where the areas where it was, you know, going to be good for him to build homes. And so when I got married, I was just like, I am never, ever, ever, ever moving ever again. And so, and on the same, I mean, exactly opposite from what she said, my husband never moved his entire life. His grandfather built our home. His parents had it. And then we bought it from them and did a lot of renovations and fixing up and things like that. And we still own it. And so, so he was always like ready to move and check out different cities and, you know, and do different things. And I was always like, nope, we're not going. So it was interesting to hearing her saying her side of her aspect when her and I both had the same upbringing, but yet as an adult, we have the opposite thinking. So, but as far as the animals go, I think, you know, I don't know. I think the same thing, probably the younger they are, it's not going to affect them as much. But like I have, you know, we have 4 cats. The 2 kittens and the one that's about 2 years old, I don't think they would really care because they go in and out. They're in and outdoor cats anyway, and they're younger. And but our 18-year-old cat that's an all indoor cat, you know, I don't think she would be too keen on wanting to move. And so she would probably, I don't know what she would do, but, you know, because obviously if we moved, she would be going. So, and wouldn't really have a choice. But, and as far as my dog, my Mastiff, as long as she can be inside, I don't think she really cares. She's just not an outside dog. So she goes outside to do her business, and then she wants right back in the house, and she has her own couch. So as long as she has her couch, I'm sure she'd be fine.
So, Lori, you not only homeschool your children, but your animals are with you all day long as well.
Yes.
So you're really a family that sticks together. Dr. Erica, can you hear us? I don't know if she can hear us.
I don't think so.
No, but it's very nice that it might just be the area she's driving through. Well, Lori, I'm looking at the time, and there's so many more things that we could ask Dr. Erica and that we could discuss, but I would like to keep our audience, you know, let them know that we're keeping our schedule. I love the subject of real estate, and I totally love where we are right now, and I can understand Dr. Erica, you know, buying house after house and doing what she's doing. I find it fascinating. I know that after our show, we'll be able to list some ways that people can connect with Dr. Erica if they want to ask her some more questions, and they can go to our page. Would you like to tell our audience a little bit about how they can connect with Dr. Erica and with us, and then when they can see us again?
Yes, and actually on our website, there is, if you're on Facebook, you can go to our website at gratitudegirls.com, and on the left-hand side, you can look down to today's date with Dr. Erica's name and click on that page to take you to her video. Of course, to watch this video and connect with her, we'll be posting her links there. But then also at the bottom of that page, there is Facebook comments right there on that page. So you can post comments or questions there that you have for either one of us or for Dr. Erica, of course, and or questions about this episode of this show. You can always post them there, and we will always get back to you on those.
Yes, that's fantastic, Lori. Thank you for making sure that all the technical aspect of what we do is always right there. I'm thrilled again to be on our show with you and to be speaking to you. I wanted to stay true to my word. I'm bringing spring flowers to our show as long as we have spring and summer, so you can expect to see a different bouquet. And as you can see, I'm fitting it all on the screen, very close-knit bouquet for our audience. And that's to remind me of the things that I'm grateful for the scents, for the colors, for the different bouquet in our life, and for the people that do things for us and that we do things for them. So I'm very grateful to you, Lori, for being here month after month with me and our audience sharing gratitude. It's always a pleasure.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, I am so happy to be here with you every month also. And also, I wanted to just tell everybody that, you know, we are always looking for different people who want to share their stories. So if you're interested in sharing your gratitude story with us, contact either one of us on our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/gratitudegirls. You can share your stories right on our page, or you can private message us and we will both see them. And also, we can let you know when your story will be featured. We are here every single month, the fourth Tuesday of every month, 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central, 7:30 Mountain, and 6:30 Pacific. Miss Catherine, do we have anything else?
We always have a surprise for our audience, so I guess our audience, stay tuned, stay close to us, because we always have something new that we're going to be sharing with you.
Awesome. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone. Thank you.